We're recording. Hello, and welcome to the Cabo Club Podcast, episode 4. This is Valeria, one of my very good friends. I'm very excited to introduce you to her. She's been super open and ready to help me do this thing and continue on, and so I'm very excited to have her on here. So, welcome, guys, and I guess this is about it. Now we just start talking.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
I believe that you're excited. You look pretty excited.
I've always kind of wanted to do something podcast-y. Do you know the Joe Rogan Experience?
Yes, of course.
I like how he does things. He gets to interview really cool, interesting people. He gets to learn about them, and they get to go back and forth, and it's a very natural conversation. I just love it. It's just super fun. So that's the ultimate goal. Here's the mic, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. It's kind of right there.
Oh, yeah, that's a mic.
Yeah. The start is always the weirdest for me, but thank you for coming and hanging out with me. I know we had to reschedule because of some, you tripped and fell and broke your ankle.
Oh, me, I'm so sorry.
Look at that. Hurting herself, damage, it's just all crazy.
Okay, now it's someone that I know, and I do not have to be weird about it. It's actually my boss.
Really?
This is gonna keep things interesting.
Oh my God.
First of all, hi mom. Second of all, I want to apologize all in advance about my pronunciation because, I'm Mexican, so.
Don't even worry about that. Your English is 80,000 times better than my Spanish, so there's no judgment there whatsoever.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. I guess to start off, where are you from?
Okay, I'm from. Should I look at them or should I look at
You can look at them if you want. You can look at me to make it just feel more comfortable to you. You don't have to talk to them. You can talk to me.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want. Really, that's the best part.
Cool. Well, I'm from Mexicali, Baja California, which is up north from Baja California Sur, just in the border with Calexico, California. So, born and raised there. And then I study college culinary arts in Ensenada, which is like the center of the Mexican wine industry. So that's pretty interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
How did you enjoy that? What did you study there?
Well, it's not culinary arts per se, because they teach you a lot of how to manage either a restaurant, winery, craft brewery, anything that has like a gastronomic center. Okay. So you have to learn a lot, and we also have cooking lessons, and we learn how to make wine, a little bit of mixology, craft beer. It was pretty interesting.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. I have a couple classes that I have to be up at 8 a.m. just drinking beer, and that was my lesson of the day. It was called...
What?
It was called craft brewery tasting. We have this sheets, and it was like 8:30, 9 a.m. and we have to drink like 6 beers and write about them, and that was the class. I love it.
I wish I had a class like that. Are you kidding me?
That was a great one. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
There was another one that the enologist of the...
The what?
The enologist. That's the person that studies and... Well, I don't know the right translation in English, but it's the person that knows how to make wine, like from the seed to the bottle, like every inch of the process, and knows how to sell it, how to taste it, everything about the wine.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So she was our teacher. The lesson, it was that each day you have to bring some dish. Like today's pasta day, and I'm gonna bring the wines. So the students brought the food, and she make the pairing with the wine. So the class was eating and drinking.
What the hell? That's the coolest class
It was for
ever.
extra points. Yeah, but we learned a lot. Yeah.
I bet. That's super cool.
It was.
Okay. And how is that related to what you're doing now?
Okay. We have to talk about the pandemic.
Okay. Let's talk about the pandemic.
I mean, it was the worst. But yeah, I was in Valle de Guadalupe in working in, I don't remember the exact winery I was at the time, but the COVID hits and we have to shoot everything down because it's a small town and it's touristic, not as big as Cabo. So yeah, we have to shoot everything down. All the wineries and the restaurants closed for like, I think it was 2 weeks first, and then it was like 3 to 6 months that they had to shoot down everything. So I didn't have a job. I have to go back to my parents' house in Mexicali, which is the worst in every aspect. Well, I know. Thank you. I mean,
love you, Mom.
Well, you know. I mean, thank you for giving me life, but I didn't ask for it. No. It's
because of you I have to pay bills.
Yeah. And a psychologist, but that's another story. No. So I had to come back to my parents' house. I didn't have money. I didn't have work, a job. And then a friend, he was like, well, there's a space open in my company, but it's in Cabo. And I really been thinking for a while that I needed to get out to Ensenada because I was like so in my comfort zone. I was like, everything was easy there and I needed a challenge. And well, I don't think I wasn't in my best place of mind during COVID. I mean, as everyone. So yeah, I took the challenge, I took the job, I moved in here and I started representing a lot of alcoholic brands with a big name here in Cabo, but it was so difficult because of the pandemic. Like, nobody was buying, nobody was having events. So, but I learned a lot, and I made a year then, and then I took another job in a hotel, a great hotel, which I love.
It's the best.
It's the best hotel in Cabo.
Do we want to name drop? We don't have to.
I don't know. We don't have to.
All right. We'll keep it simple. But that's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
And are you enjoying that transition? Are you enjoying being here compared to Ensenada?
I mean, it's pretty different. Everything. The tourists are super different because in here you have like a level.
Okay.
So in Ensenada it was more relaxing. We have a lot of older age tourists. They only enjoy like lay down in the beach because the beach there it's cold, so it's not like for you to swim. We have surfers, but it's not that enjoyable. Because in Ensenada it's always windy or a little bit cold.
Gotcha.
Like summer in here, like summer in Ensenada is like the winter in here. You know, it's the same thing.
Yep,
you always need like a jacket in the car or whatever. It's supposed to be summer, but it's chilly.
Okay.
But yeah, so in there was a little bit cozy. People are slower, more relaxed. So yeah, the tourism was different if you compare it to Tijuana, which is like party all the time. And in here we have plenty of activities. Most of them are at the beach. Great restaurants, great food, great ambience, a lot of art, which I love.
Bunch of art. Holy hell! Look at them. Well, I don't really. I'm gonna have to mess up the framing for this. But you got all this art right up there. There. Yes. Super art focused, actually. Yep. And as a matter of fact, every Thursday night in San Jose, they do this thing called Art Walk, where a bunch of local artists from all over Mexico come into the plaza that we're sitting in front of right now and just set up shop. And you just walk around with margaritas and beers in hand, maybe a churro, and check out some really good, amazing art. So the art, I was super surprised at how impactful art was down here.
Yes. And it also, like, even that I'm not an artist, it makes me feel like inspired in some way.
Okay, yeah.
I try to learn or meet a lot of people that do different things that I do. So I learn a little bit more about everything. But in here, I always feel inspired. So I think that's great too.
What a special place to be where you just get to be inspired.
I'm inspired all the time.
No big deal. It's just kind of amazing.
No
whatever.
biggie. Yeah, I'm just living life.
That's awesome. So then you've enjoyed being here in Cabo as a whole.
Yes.
And do you see yourself being here long term, or what do you kind of think on that front, if you even thought about it?
Well, that's always a tricky question, because if you ask me right here, right now, of course, I'm having the time of my life. I'm working a lot, which I love. I have a passion for service, and in here, I learn a little bit about everything. And we do not need to talk about celebrities, but we also do, because the level of the tourism that is here, it's whole new level.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So what I used to think, for example, that was great service back in Ensenada or in Mexicali, in here is just like, oh yeah, you're doing like
the minimum.
Yeah. And I just think that I'm absorbing a lot of stuff, and I am really, really enjoying it, and I just want to learn more about it. Right here, right now, I will tell you, yes, I want to spend a lot of years here, but I don't know. Everything can change.
We'll see what life has planned.
I hope it's not another pandemic, but yeah.
You and me both.
Yeah.
Because that shit sucked. Oh my goodness. Did you want to grab a coffee or something?
Yes.
Hey, Taj. Carlos. Oh, maybe he's busy. He's on the thing. I'll call him over in a second. I met him earlier while I was hanging out over here. Well, he saw me setting up all this stuff, and he was like, "What are you doing? Like a podcast thing?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I kind of explained it to him. He's really cool. I was recording. I happened to be recording at the exact same time, which was funny. But yeah. I'm thinking I'm gonna grab me just a nice simple cappuccino.
Got it.
They're really good here.
I always start here with espresso tonic, and if I'm having breakfast, I finish with a mocha.
Okay. Do you come to So we're sitting in Pezgallo right now, actually. I'm gonna do a little show off thing here. This is Pezgallo. We're in the back. There's the front right over there. Really cool little spot. Oh, here we go.
Yep. Also, we are like in the art month here in Baja California Sur. We have a lot of events in La Paz, Todos Santos, and San Jose del Cabo regarding art and expositions and artists. So, yeah, you should check that out. Also, someday.
It's a special ass place for art. There's so much to do here. If you enjoy any form of art, definitely immerse yourself. I want to go to Tattoo Los Cabos Fest, the Los Cabos Tattoo Fest.
Yeah.
It's in November. I missed it this year, but this upcoming year I'd really like to go to that because I don't know if I've ever told you this, but my brother's a tattoo artist.
Oh.
And that's how I got into tattoos. He has been doing it since he was 18, and he's like 38 now.
So a lot of years.
A long time. He's booked out 3 years consistently.
I think he made it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's the hardest worker I know too, because on top of that, he's also a firefighter and a emergency services personnel. So in the ambulances, helping people out.
So he knows a lot of things. Yeah. I have always had like doubts about the fireman service because I didn't know that they don't have like payment, or it's like donations.
Here?
Yeah, I think here it's weird.
They
right?
don't get paid. It's
so I always wanted to compare to the ones in the States because that doesn't seem fair at all. So.
And up there, they get paid a pretty good salary, definitely.
Okay.
It's a job. It's not a volunteer work, anything like down here, and there's a lot of focus put on it. And I think a lot of that also has to do with the fact that like construction up north versus down here doesn't require as flammable material, so you don't get fires as often. That's just my assumption based off what I've seen so far, but that's what would make sense just because house fires, grow fires, all that stuff happen a bunch up there, but down here everything's concrete.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen any fire since I moved here, actually.
I've seen a couple in the estuary that seem like they may have been started by like a cigarette butt or something, tossed to the side. But yeah, other than that, not really anything. Other than the occasional car on fire from an accident.
Oh yeah, accident.
Driving here is the most dangerous part.
Yeah, it is. It's like an extreme sport, actually. Please learn how to drive if you're gonna come to Cabo. I know it's amazing, but you have to keep your eyes in front of the wheel, you know?
Drive with the traffic. Don't assume you know the laws of the road, because fun fact, there aren't any.
I think you have to do like the whole segment about driving here in Cabo, because it's something. There's a lot of people of a lot of different places, so I think they all have their own rules. And that's not how it works.
Yeah, that's. I used to ride motorcycles a bunch up north, and I hate doing it down here. I've got my scooter down here. That's how I get around in town. But God, it's so dangerous.
Have you had another accident?
Not another one, thank God.
Okay.
Thank God. Only one for me right now.
Beware of food trucks.
Yeah. Third month I was down here, I got hit by a food truck in front of a hotel. In the bike path on my longboard.
And it was somehow his fault, so.
Yeah, cop said it was my fault. I shouldn't have been in the bike lane because I was a longboard.
You need the longboard lane, of course.
Of course. And
everyone knows
the fact that I wasn't in the longboard specific lane is on me. Because everywhere has a longboard lane. Everywhere does. You've seen them.
Yeah. I mean, it's like California still, so of course we have a longboard road, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Driving down here is interesting. I don't hate, but driving from here to Cabo San Lucas always gives me a little bit of an edge. And anytime I have to go there, I don't have a car, so I have to take the bus. Those bus drivers go hard sometimes.
Yep. I remember when I just moved in here, it was also extreme sport. I think that you need like a helmet or something, because they always in a rush.
Yes.
And then they encounter like 3 or 2 buses, and they're like
passing each other.
You know, maybe just, I mean, go a little bit slower. I don't know.
You can save a couple of seconds and not die. That'd be great.
I mean, if I do not die, that'll be like the best of the service, actually.
That is the goal, you know, get from point A to point B, not dead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's, oh my goodness. So then what do you like to do down here? We talked a lot about what you do for work. What do you do for fun?
Work? No, I'm joking.
El mismo para mí.
Yeah. I love to eat outside, try new restaurants. So that's what I study for, and that's what I do at the end of the day. I really enjoy new gastronomic experience, and in here you have a lot of them, and for everyone, you know. I really love going to the art walk on Thursdays to see new art or maybe meet artists. It's hard to talk about hobbies because I always do different things, but it's mainly the same, but it's different. Hola. Vamos a ordenar ahorita. I need my coffee. I do not want to say that I mostly drink because that will came up.
Todo listo. Sí.
A mí me das un espresso tonic, por favor.
Venga. Tengo también cold brew tonic, está más ponchado.
Está más, bueno, ese. Siempre pido espresso, entonces.
Sí, pero el cold brew está buenazo.
Okay.
Good for you.
Para mí, un cappuccino.
Regular meal?
Sí.
Skill meal?
Regular.
Regular? Wanna eat something?
Not for me now. What about you?
No, ahorita estoy bien, gracias.
Perfecto. Les traigo sus bebidas enseguida.
Sí.
Gracias, amigo.
Gracias.
Thank you.
So.
We got him.
Yes.
All right.
I drink a lot. That's part of my hobby too.
I mean, it seems like Modelo and Pacifico are water.
Yeah, they are. I mean, well,
like
it depends. It depends.
Like Budweiser to Colorado, or Coors Light to Colorado would be more what people would recognize.
Yeah.
Coors Light to Colorado would be like Pacifico, Modelo to here.
Well, and you're forgetting about Tecate, because where I am from, it's one of the hottest city, if it's not the hottest. It's in Mexicali. So we're one of the towns that consume more beer and Coca-Cola in all Mexico, because we have our proper plant of Coca-Cola in Mexicali, and in the town next door, which is Tecate, we have the Tecate brewery, the big one.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are so used to drink a lot of beer, and then I come in places like this and I'm just drinking a 6-pack, which is normal in a hot day, and everyone is like, it's normal.
This is my water.
Yeah.
This is how I stay hydrated.
Of course.
Tecate.
Tecate.
Yeah.
And you have to ask for the red one. That's the good one.
So, and I've tried the blue one. I just couldn't get it.
Light.
Red is right. It's boring.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Red's the way to go. That's good. Young. I had no idea that the Coca-Cola plant and Tecate plant were up in Mexicali.
Yeah, we have one. I think the one in Monterrey too, but I think it has to be more about the water, and also that we consume a lot, but mostly about the water. But yeah, actually, I don't know if this is in all of the states. I don't think so, but most of the people that live on the border come to Mexico and buy Coca-Cola, Mexican Coca-Cola, because it's made of real sugar, and they love it. But it's
100% a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
100% a thing. So
what's your experience on that?
So Mexican Coke was my favorite. The first time I actually encountered Mexican Coke was not in Mexico. It was in Belize.
Oh, okay.
And so I did some volunteer work with an orphanage down there through my old high school, and Coca-Cola has a monopoly on soda in Belize. You can't find any Pepsi products whatsoever. So Coke was the only drink other than water that we had. So I got it. It was really good. And then we went over to Guatemala for a couple days, had some Pepsi. I'm a Pepsi guy over Coke. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the first person that I met. I mean, I'm not.
It's my dad.
Leading to soda, but okay.
My dad my dad had a Pepsi in his hand every time I saw him my entire life growing up.
Okay.
So it's just one of those things, and Coke and
heritage.
Exactly. So Pepsi was always my thing, but Coke here I like so much better because it does have that real sugar.
Yes.
And it doesn't taste like Coke up from the States, which wasn't my favorite to begin with. So I'm definitely a fan of that.
Can you try the Mexican Pepsi?
Yes. Yes.
Do you like it?
I honestly like Mexican Coke over Mexican Pepsi, but I like American Pepsi over American Coke.
Ooh.
Gracias.
Es una bomba.
Uf.
Espresso tonic.
Me encanta.
Qué chido.
Te traigo una cucharita enseguida.
Sí, gracias.
Gracias, Tach. Put that over there. That looks...
This is one of my favorite drinks. I always order with espresso, so with cold brew is gonna be a whole new thing. Gracias.
That's kind of cool.
Do you wanna try it?
I've never seen it. Actually, I would love to try it.
Do you like tonic water? Because a lot of people doesn't like it.
For the most part, I probably wouldn't love it just raw, but maybe with an espresso.
I love it. It's great for your health actually also. And if you drop some gin in it, you're done.
Well, I mean, you have the gin and tonic,
yes,
so that makes
course.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, you wanna take a sip?
Yeah, if you don't mind, that'd be.
It's a different drink. You have to try. You have to like tonic water for you to enjoy it.
I actually like that.
It is.
I like that better than just like a standard espresso shot.
Oh yeah.
Throwing that tonic water in there kind of balances it. Would that be the word?
You have like the lemon there, so it's.
Cappuccino, that's hot. We're gonna let that cool for a little bit. Yeah, we're just gonna let that sit. Looks very pretty anyway, so
it is.
I don't mind just staring at it. What were we talking about? Sodas.
Pepsi.
Yes, Pepsi, soda, Coke, and all that stuff. Yes, and one of the things I tell people regularly who haven't been to Mexico is you have to try Mexican Coke and Mexican Doritos.
Yes.
Mexican Doritos are a whole new breed. Mexican Doritos are not like Doritos you've ever had before.
Fritos too. It tastes better in Mexico.
Fritos too.
Yeah.
I haven't tried the Fritos here yet.
Yeah, because my dad loves Fritos the one from the States, but in here we have the lemon, the normal ones, the original ones, and then we have the chili pepper ones, which are...
Those are my favorite. Yeah.
I think it tastes better. I don't know, they crunch better. I don't know how to explain it. Just tastes different, but the same but different, but better.
100%. But my dad always gave me shit with the chili one because he was like, Sean, your breath smells terrible after you have a whole bag of those. I'm like, I don't care. They taste amazing.
Well, Doritos are smelly. They're dangerous if you're like on a date. It's like... Think about it. Yeah. Like,
That's where you just bring a bag with you and give them to your date so that you both have the same breath.
Oh, well, I don't think that works that way.
If some dude was like, yo, let's go on a date.
If you both smell bad, it cancels, or...
Not that it cancels, but like, you're not gonna be like, you smell bad, I'm gonna leave. Well, you smell bad too, let's just hang out and both smell bad together.
Okay.
That's my thought
like
process
nachos.
on it.
Yeah, of course.
You know, maybe it does cancel it out. I have no idea. But
whatever.
exactly. Whatever.
Drop some Pepsi in it, some Mexican Coke, and you're done.
Right. Well, it'll be. You don't need a fancy date. You just bring Doritos and sodas and go to the beach with a towel and hang out.
That's a good plan, actually.
Yeah. Why not? Just maybe bring an umbrella too, because the sun down here.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck, but...
But it'll burn you quick.
Yep.
Especially me, because I'm pasty white.
I didn't want to comment about it, but yes.
Girl.
I think you... Oh my god.
Yeah. I just showed her my belly.
I
blind people.
Stop.
It's basically like looking at a blank canvas for art.
So you get like red, like pretty reddish? Okay. Wow.
And it's really weird. My dad has a really solid tan, but my dad's he's worked outside his all life. He's an auctioneer, he's a lumberjack, he builds fences, he trains horses, he's been outside all his life. And so he's very dark all the way up to here, but he has a hardcore farmer's tan. And it is pasty white everywhere else.
Okay, in Mexico, we have this candy which is called Duvalin, which is half brown, half white. So we call that Duvalin.
Duvalin, okay.
You have the like Duvalin arm, which is like white.
Duvalin. I'm gonna start using that now.
Yeah, use it.
Because I've seen that. I actually haven't tried that candy. That's gonna be on my Mexican munchie thing, though. Have you seen those?
Yeah, of course. Okay. I'm a fan. Yay. I always like comment and I put that on the fridge, like but 3 snacks straight. Like put that on the fridge and 10 minutes later.
Yes.
But yeah. You should put that on the fridge.
Fun fact for anyone looking for munchies down here or chocolatey things in general, always put them in the freezer or the fridge for like 20 minutes before you eat them. Because that's the secret down here. Chocolate candies taste better from the fridge.
Mostly the ones that have like an animal name, like gancitos, pingüinos.
Is gansito an animal name?
Goose. Little goose, gansito. And pingüino is
Ganzo.
little penguin. Yeah.
Gansito. I had never made that connection the entire time I've been here.
Now you know.
Okay, wow.
Have you tried the Dalmatian?
Yes. I found one.
Put it on the fridge.
I found one.
Yeah, because it's very difficult. Yeah.
I found it at one Oxxo has it. And it's the one right across the street from the bus pickup in front of Chedraui. That one had both chocotoros and dalmatas.
They still sell chocotoros. Chocotoros are the pink ones, right?
Yeah, I found them. I got a munchie video for it.
I haven't seen that one. Okay.
It's super good. But those, I very much enjoyed
take
those
everything
videos.
and throw it to the freezer. It's better.
100%. But I think we're gonna slow down on doing all those because I record a few of them at a time just so I can post them throughout the week. And my sweet tooth has become less sweet. We'll still do it, but we'll pace myself a little bit.
It's a lot. I mean, or you can do like sweet and sour, or I don't know.
That's why I did the whole chip section in the middle there. Change it up, do something different.
I don't really have like a sweet tooth, so I get what you mean. I was just about to tell you that. For example, the Duvalin, that's one of the candies that I cannot have as an adult because I ate too many as a kid. I cannot have Duvalin, I cannot have Reese's, and the cream of the Oreos. It's like, I cannot even smell it. It's like...
No, that bad.
Yeah. I used to eat a lot. of them.
Oreos they have a grip on me.
It's my favorite ice cream also, but I cannot have the cream. I cannot have it.
It's just too much.
I just eat just the cookie.
No mames, you just eat the cookie?
Yeah, just
so then we'd be perfect. You and me will get a big old thing of Oreos. You can have the cookies. I'll have the middle.
Ugh.
And I'll do like little clay art with it, and we'll turn it into a thing, and then it'll be fun.
I mean,
I don't know. I just had that idea and I said it.
we can do it, but we have to take care of your sugar levels right now. But okay.
I don't have diabetes right now. My sugar levels are fine.
Right now.
That is the important thing there. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Actually, my dad had to start drinking Pepsis because of his sugar levels.
Really?
Yeah, while I was down here, actually, a year ago, almost to this date, I get a call from my stepmom. She's like, Sean, don't worry, but your dad's in the hospital. And I was like, well, I'm worried.
Great start, yeah.
What's happening? And she was
first
like,
step, wrong.
and she was like, well, your dad's blood sugar level was so bad we had to take him to the ER. And blood sugar level, if it's way too low, you could die. If it's way too high, you could really have problems. And you're supposed to have like around, I think the number's like 100 for your blood sugar level. Like 90 to 120, I think, is a safe number.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. But his was like above 750.
Okay.
750.
Yeah.
He was just off the charts, but he felt fine. It was the weirdest thing. So, yeah, that just kind of popped into my head while we were talking about diabetes and then soda and then sugar intake and all that jazz.
You need to eat more sugar, but also
not to make sure I don't end up with a 750 level blood sugar score.
No,
Doesn't sound fun.
So I'm just gonna go back a little bit. You were telling me that your dad was a lumberjack, firefighter. Firefighter?
He's not a firefighter. He cut firewood.
Firewood. Okay.
Firewood.
Oh, what else do he used to do or does?
Currently, his main stuff is he's auctioneer.
Okay.
That's what he's doing a lot of right now. But he also has some oddball job work. He's very much with his hand, works with his hands. So he built a whole personal like pond fountain in some people's backyards that was about the size of this table, from this wall to that wall.
It's a big wall.
Big, yeah. But he did some stuff like that. His big thing was auctioneering, splitting firewood, and then horse training. And horse massage. He's a horse massage therapist.
So he's like Barbie?
Hold on. When has Barbie ever cut firewood? I mean,
if someone does it, there's a Barbie for that.
Okay, that's pretty valid. That's pretty valid. But then are we all Barbies at that point? I'm gonna have to tell
I have to take a break because
I'm gonna have to tell my dad you said that though. He's gonna get a kick out of that. Oh my god. But yeah, I grew up on a horse ranch. We grew up in the mountains.
I was just getting back at that. Tell me about the host. How? It feels like I'm interviewing you. Sorry.
No, it's a good back and forth. This is what I want.
Tell me more about the horses, because yeah, my parents, my grandparents and my dad used to have a cattle ranch, and my mom, it's I don't know how to say it in English, but she used to do equinoterapia. She's a therapist and works with horses.
Okay.
For people with special needs. So I used to be her helper and apprentice.
That's amazing.
Yeah, well, all my life has been around horses, so that's why I'm invested.
No mummies.
Yes.
That's exciting. No, now I love talking to this about too, because I don't have many friends that I get to talk to about horses, and down here I've met a couple more. Now you, and then Sol, another friend of mine that I'd love to have on the podcast. She's a veterinarian, and
Sol, Dr. Sol, yeah.
Yeah, you know Sol.
Yeah.
And just I love talking about horse stuff because I just never do get to talk about it with anyone. But yeah, back where I'm from, Colorado, Fort Collins, I grew up in the mountains just to the west of it on a ranch called Tip Top Ranch. And it was specifically a horse ranch. People would come up, they had huts for people to stay in for certain nights, but mainly they did cattle rides and horse trails, and they'd walk people through the mountains and show people how cowboys used to live, and they'd make a campfire and grill or cook on the skillet. And so my dad was heavily a part of that for years and years and years. So I grew up watching him train people to ride. He trained me to ride, and how to kind of survive on your own, essentially. And it's very interesting because we were far enough back to where we had to deal with bears and mountain lions and whatnot. And there was a time where I went out just by myself with my dad's work four-wheeler, because occasionally he would let me just go ride around. And it was one winter day, and I turned this corner and I see just this tan flash go in front of me, and I just stop and I'm like, did I just see what I thought I saw? And then I thought about it and I was like, I probably shouldn't just sit here if I thought I saw what I thought I saw. And so I just pinned it back to my dad. I was like, Dad, I think I just saw a mountain lion. And so he kicked me off, I got on the back, he got on the front. We went over to the same spot. Sure enough, we saw the tracks leaving in. And so they went into this circle area, and there was a whole road around the circle. And so we found it in one part, and then we slowly drove the circle again to see if we might be able to see it inside or whatnot. And as soon as we got back around full 360, we saw new tracks heading out. So while we were trying to find it, it just left, and it was the coolest little thing ever. But there were also times where we had bears jumping into our trash cans while we were sleeping in the camper.
I've seen videos of bears just like in the suburbs and eating trash, and that for me I've never seen a bear like oh, that's a bear. No, only in the zoo. But yeah, I don't know what I will feel. I saw mountain lions in my grandparents' ranch.
Really?
They have to hunt it down because it was between the mountains too, so they live in the mountains, and in the plain part we have the cattle, the house, and everything. Because this is the house, like no electricity, no water. If you want to stay there, you don't have to shower. Well, you can't shower with. Well, that's another thing.
Right.
It doesn't matter. So it was this whole ranch experience too. But he began to go down in the plain area and eat the cattle, and then go between the stuff, the garbage, attack the dogs. So he has to.
It's a problem.
And then it was a carpet in my grandparents' house.
A free luxury carpet.
I mean,
that's a cool ass carpet in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
Especially if you have the story behind it. Like, this thing was.
Yeah, we have the picture of my grandparents. Like my grandpa. He was
that's
like
so cool.
And I was like in the back in the picture, like, and he's just like opening the Puma.
That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Also, funny story. Do you know Renata, right? My roommate?
Yeah.
My first cow, it was called Renata. She loves that story.
Did you eat Renata?
Yes.
I knew it. I totally knew it.
That was the second question everybody asked.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we ate it.
That's hilarious.
But she was this red-headed cow.
A red-headed cow.
I have a picture with her. I can show you to it later. But that was my first cow.
I would love to see it.
She was getting old, so.
If it's better for the group.
Yeah.
The circle of life.
Yeah.
We love animals here.
Yeah, we love them. We love them. But we also grew up
eating them.
Yeah. And also, maybe we just change the topic.
Hunting is no foreign thing to me, because at the same time, up in the mountains where I grew up, hunting was very common. And I've gone on hunting excursions with my dad before. We went and tried to get some elk down in Durango, Colorado. Didn't see a single elk the entire trip, so I've never actually shot anything hunting personally, but it's just kind of a way of life for people.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
My family's not a hunter. There are not hunters, but like we have the special guns because of the animals that are not good for the
ecosystem.
Well, yeah, for the ecosystem and for the business, because we planted a lot of it was grains well, it was mostly food for the cattle. Like we plant the food for the cattle. So yeah, they had to take care of everything. But there was this thing that my grandpa had, that he had something with snakes. Like he was beating a rattlesnake bit him like 3 times. Of course, it was not the same, but 3 times, and he survived. So now he would just saw one, grab a big rock, break his skull, and just open it and collect the
Yes.
the skin, and he gave me the rattles.
My dad would collect the rattles.
Yeah.
And my dad, the same thing. A lot of rattlesnakes where I grew up. So
Yeah.
my dad would always, either if I ever went out on my own or if he ever did, he always had a shovel
Okay.
and a very
So they
long
put
shovel
the-
so he could cut the head off without it being able to reach him. And so it was
That's a
this
good one.
whole thing that, yeah, I totally feel that. And there was and driving in his truck, my dad's truck was always messy, full of just shit. And
Yeah.
always in his center console would be a bunch of rattlesnake rattles that on our drive up to the mountains to hit to the ranch, I'd just grab them and play with them.
It was so fun.
It was.
Yeah, they put it inside the guitar. I don't know if that's a thing in the States, but all my family plays the guitar, and we used to get like in the bonfire and sing old songs from like the Revolutionary era in Mexican
Okay.
songs. So they put the rattles inside the guitars, and when I started. I was in a Catholic school, like kindergarten, elementary, junior high, high school, all the years, you know. So I started going to the choir. How do you pronounce that? I forgot.
Choir? Singing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we learned how to play the guitar, and I brought mine. It was black, beautiful. I love her, and it had like 5 rattles inside, and I just took them out, and everyone was like, and I was just like.
I have 2 instruments, a guitar and these. I love it.
And then I was labeled as a weirdo. It's okay.
When people don't understand you,
Yeah.
they label you a weirdo.
Yep. I mean, it's okay.
Now we're amongst like-minded people, weirdos themselves. Yeah, I understand that label. Oh my goodness. I had no idea you grew up on a rancho.
Yeah, I have pictures and everything. Yeah, I have
That's so cool.
the hat, the rope, the boots, everything.
Can you rope pretty well? No.
My brothers still can do it, but it's because like when we did it, it was not fun, but it was part of a family experience or family gathering, because we have to drive from Mexicali to Ensenada, then to the ranch, and then we have to do the whole cattle thing with the dogs. And I learned how to give vaccines to the cattle and then cut the ears, because I don't know if you know this, I don't think you know, you need to mark the cattle, right?
Yeah.
So they have the brand,
Yep.
which is the steel, and then you have to cut the ear and then put an ear in.
Yeah.
So I learned how to, click, psst, and we do everything.
Ah, shit.
But my cousins, they are veterinarians, so they know how to do the whole thing. And my dad is a veterinarian too, so they know how to, do the whole natural experience. And I'm just in the back like, let me cut some hooves or whatever.
Let me do something. I'm in. Let's get it.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
covering dirt. Yeah, I love it.
Holy shit. I've only ever been to one branding like
Yeah?
that. Family friends of my dad's, they had a whole cattle ranch as well. And my dad would go up and help them, and occasionally I would go with him. I didn't get to go with him as much as I would have liked.
Yeah.
Largely because my parents were divorced when I was young, and my mom, I only got to see my dad like 8 days a month. Yeah, it was a whole thing. Looking back, there's a lot there. But the times I did get to spend with him, I was able to do a lot of these things. And so I did go to a branding like that and saw that.
It's a whole thing, right?
It was a whole thing. My dad didn't let me be a part of it because he didn't want me to get kicked by a cow that was pissed off.
But they have like the machine, or they were just like walking out. What?
And put him down
That
and
seems cool.
yeah.
No, we have
rope
like
'em.
we have to put everything in all the cattle in the fence, and then it was like a little canal, like a road, and they put it in line, and there was this thing that was like a claw, and they put the head in there, and we pulled the rope, and it was like
Locked them in.
and they were like this, and we like take care of the hooves, the brand, earring, teeth, vaccines, everything, and just like
send them on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That was a lot more. You had more of a. Oh man, I lost the word. I had the word. A structure.
English is your first language. What are you doing, man?
Me learning Spanish has kicked so many English words out of my brain, and it's that's not an excuse, but I definitely have noticed that with Spanish, I've lost some of my recollection for English words.
Well, I speak English mostly at work, so sometimes I have to explain a thing that I always explain in English, and then I have to explain it in Spanish, and it's like glitching and everything. It's like, well, I don't know.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one who struggles with
I mean, I don't know.
Languages are hard.
Yep. I mean, yeah, they are.
Especially English. Learning Spanish and then like trying to think of myself having Spanish as my first language and then learning English, I would have quit English.
The other day I was just thinking, it's pretty weird that, I don't know, I have English classes and I was in kindergarten because I was born in the border, and it's like, you have to know, you need to know. So then, like, just one day, you just go to the States from shopping or whatever to Target or Walmart, and someone is speaking to you in English, and then you understand it. And it's just like, you know?
Yeah.
It's weird.
And you're like, oh, I knew what they said.
Yeah. I know what to answer. That's weird.
How cool. Huh. And they understood what I said back to them. Hot shit. I'm finally getting to that point with my Spanish, and that's been very exciting for me.
Yeah, you have a great pronunciation though, actually.
Thank you. It's a large part of that was because one of my jobs I worked at in Colorado was in a town that was heavily Hispanic.
Okay.
And I worked at the mall, and I'd have all these families coming in for back to school or whatever, and it was also a skate shop.
Where did you work?
Zoomies.
I knew it.
Yep. I worked at Zoomies for a hot minute, and so...
Like, at first instant, I will say Hot Topic, but Zoomies was next.
Number 2,
Yep.
100%. And I kept that with me all through my life, and so, loved that part, but I have this thing where I copy people's accents just involuntarily, and I did that with the Spanish, and so that's how I got the rrrs and the kind of the enunciation of the vowels.
But it's weird because you try, and at the end it's like fake it till you make it, and you make it. So.
Paso a paso, poco a poco.
Oh.
We're getting there.
Next episode is gonna be full Spanish.
No, I want to do a full Spanish episode like in the future.
Yeah.
Next episode I can run to it. But I would love to do like more Spanglish and like start like incorporating more Spanish and English and like going back and forth is
What do you do to learn more Spanish?
I try to do Duolingo for like vocabulary. I have a teacher down here that occasionally I'll get with, and she'll like help me with like the conjugations and specifics. How come I put K in here or do certain things to just make it sound correctly. But a lot of it is talking with just people in general, asking questions, and then social media has been a little bit of that because I've been on TikTok and posting all these things, and I'll get people who comment in Spanish. I don't know all the words, so I go to the translator, I'll pop it in the translator, but I'll read the Spanish and then the English, and then I'll try to
they're cursing
compare them. Some of them.
Really?
Girl, I just posted a couple of them that went semi-viral, over 50,000 views. But I've got people who are cussing me out, telling me to get out of the fucking country. I'm not welcome here. Fucking gringos. A bunch of things like that. So I'm learning all of the words.
Yeah. Well, movies and music always helps. Like always.
Music too. A lot of music. Do you know Nathy Peluso?
Of course I know.
love her sound.
Yeah.
I love her sound.
She's great.
It's so much fun.
But also because she's not Mexican, so you're learning like Latin American slang also.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean that's great because there's some words that because of the music or like reggaeton, which is like the boom right now, you're learning slang from other countries that you can use here, and it's like I'm gonna understand you, you know.
Good to know. Okay. I'm picking up some of it.
I love it.
What's battery life? We're at 14% in 50 minutes, so this might die on us at any time. Honestly, this has been great. Thank you so much. How have you felt about this so far?
I felt great, thank you.
Yeah?
I was very worried about my English today, but I think it worked pretty well.
I would say so. I didn't have any troubles understanding you whatsoever, and I doubt anyone else watching this will as well.
It's great. I always had this thing. I have to when I used to be tour guide, I have to say all this speech, like 2-hour long speech in English, and as soon as someone compliments my English, I turn into Sofia Vergara, like that. Like, oh man, I mean thank you, but and I couldn't speak English no more. Like as soon as someone compliments my accent or my English, I lost it. Yep, back to Mexico. Yep.
The struggles of having multiple languages in your brain and figuring it out.
Yep.
But we're killing it, and that's what we got to remember.
Yeah. I think we're doing it. Yeah, here in Cabo and in the world.
Well, I think so far we're good. We're golden. We're great. We're fantastic.
Great. Yep.
We're amazing. We're beautiful. We're mesmerizing. That's yes.
It's a big word.
Yes. So thank you for joining me today. This has been amazing. And thank you guys for watching the video. Be sure to like and share if you want to keep watching these and show some love and support. That'd be great. Let me know, would you like to know more about Los Cabos or just kind of anywhere in Mexico? I can't really speak on anywhere else of Mexico, but I'm pretty sure I know someone from any part of Mexico you guys could bring up. So let me know. But otherwise, thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll catch you next video.
See ya.
Peace. The sky may be the limit, but space is the place to be.